Hello, I am Reverend Dr. Namches. In this video, we will learn about HTML tables. HTML tables are used to display data in rows and columns. They help to present data in a structured way. Tables are made up of rows and columns, and each intersection of rows and columns are known as cells. Each cell in a HTML table can contain text, they can contain images, and they can even contain other elements. But before we proceed, if this is your first time of joining a HTML class, it will be difficult for you to follow through this video. So I would advise you to search for my video that talks about first step in developing a HTML website page. It will guide you to continue with your HTML journey. Quickly, we shall continue with our class on creating HTML tables. And so on the screen, you can see the table tags, the opening table tag, and the closing table tag. And so we quickly go to our root folder, my website. If you have joined us from the beginning, the first video in the series, which I recommended before, you would have created this my website folder. So I quickly click on this my website folder. Okay, I bring it to the middle. So this is index.html, which represents our home page. So I'm going to open it twice. I'm going to open it. First of all, open with Notepad. Open with Notepad, where I will see all the codes that we have written so far. So I minimize it, and then I come to the same index.html and I open with Google Chrome. So these are the activities we have done so far. This is our list, HTML list, and HTML definition list, and the rest. So I quickly minimize it and minimize this, and open my notepad. So I scroll down under right inside the body. I'll give a space, and then I do my proper indentation, and then I open the table tag TABLE. So under it, I immediately close the table tag as expected. Now right in between the opening and closing table tags, I will create the table row tag. And so this is how the table row tag looks like. So I go back to my notepad. So I create the table row TR opening tag, and I quickly close the TR tag right below it. So I can do copy and paste into 6 places in order to save time. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, because each table contains rows. So you can see the first row, you can see the second row, the second table row, the third table row, the fourth table row, the fifth table row, and the sixth table row. So right inside each of the table rows, we nest a table data. And this is how my screen, you can see how the table data tag looks like. So I quickly write between my first table row tags, I type td, the first table data, and I close the tag. Td, I close the tag. So the second table data, td, close the tag, td, and now the third table data, td, and I close the tag. And so I can do copy and paste, or I can cut, and then let me start from the last table row. I paste the second to the last table row. I just decided to start from the last row. You can start from anywhere you like. The fourth, the third. Okay, so I will leave the second table row and the first table row for other things. So I will have information here, I will have data here, I will have data here, I will have data here. So this table row, these two table rows that I left empty, I will use them for my table headings. So this is where we are. You can quickly take a picture of this. This is our opening table tag. This is our closing table tag. And this is our first table row containing the first table row opening tag and the closing tag. The table row opening tag, the close tag. Now we have a table row opening tag and the table row closing tag and three table data tags inside it. We have the same thing here, we have the same thing here, and finally we have the same thing here. So I would like you to study it carefully. And now in the first table row, we will type something like web design, DESIGN, and this table, we want this table to contain the old and the new prices of our web design classes. So I will type 200,000 naira. Now here I will type 100,000 naira. So this will represent the course itself, the web design course. This will represent the course. This will represent the old price, and this will represent the new price. So the same thing here, this place will represent the name of the course, the second will represent the old price, while the third will represent the new price. So I will simply type networking, NETWORKING, and this will represent the old price of 500,000 naira, and this will also represent the new price of 250,000 naira. And now we will also add the next table data, data analytics, TICS. Now the old price of the data analysis, these are not real prices. So 300,000 naira, and the new price is now 150,000 naira. This is Nigerian currency. And so finally, I would maybe write Java, JAVA, and the current price. Let's assume the current price, the old price, used to be 450,000 naira. Now let's assume the new price to now be 225,000 naira. So you can see how I have arranged my table data. So I will quickly click File and I will click Save so I can be able to refresh my browser and have the effect of what I have coded. So I have just saved. Now that I have saved, I will open my browser and then I will refresh. So now that I have refreshed, you can see web design, you can see 200,000, you can see 100,000. So this represents the ICT course, this represents the old price, this represents the discounted price. So but this is not properly formatted, yet. So we will go back to the code so we can properly format our code. So we quickly go back to our notepad, but then we can add captions. We can add captions to our table. We can add a caption to our table. A caption appears right under the opening table tag. So see, okay, this is how the caption tag looks like. You can see the opening caption tag and the closing caption tag. So we go quickly back to our notepad and we type the less than sign, CAPTION, that's the opening tag of caption. And now we close the caption tag, CAPTION, and so right in between the opening and the closing tag we type the caption 2025 prices of, okay, I will write our OUR, our 2025 prices for ICT courses, and so I quickly click File and I save. I go back to my browser and I refresh. So this is our 2025 prices for ICT courses. You can see it properly. Placed as a caption on top of our tables. So this is the tables, and now this is the caption, our 2025 prices for ICT courses. And so we will quickly add borders. To our HTML table. So I open the notepad, go to the table opening tag. I want you to look very carefully. Go to the open table tag and I enter inside it. The opening table tag, I go inside it and I type border, BORDER, equal to 1, BORDER equal to 1. So I click File, I click Save, I return to my browser and I refresh. So you would see how borders have been added. So I will quickly add a horizontal rule. Let me add a horizontal rule below the table so it will help my table to come up a little. That's not part of the table. I just want to add 2 horizontal rules so it will help my table to come up a little. HR, save. So I refresh. So I can scroll down a little to have my table come up a little. So you can see we have added borders, but we are yet to style these borders. And so I will return to my notepad so I can begin to style the table. So right inside the notepad, I will type inside the table. These are the table properties. Table properties will be written inside the opening table tag. So I can write width to set the width of the table. Width equal to the double quote, and I will choose 80%. I will choose 80% so that no matter the size of the device you are using to browse this website, the width of the table will occupy 80%. Whether you are using a phone to browse the website, whether you are using a tablet or a laptop or a desktop computer, the width of the table will occupy 80% of the width of your device. So I can equally type the height height, and height, I can give height maybe 200 px. Can give height 200 px. So I will quickly click file and save, and then I return to my browser to refresh. Oh, so when I refresh, can see that my table is already beginning to take shape. Our 2025 prices for ICT courses, I will remove our, it will just be 2025 prices for ICT courses. Now, okay, I'll replace our with digital classrooms. So I will also bring this to the center, web design, networking, and all of it, 200,000, 500,000. I will have to bring all of them to the center. So I will quickly return to my notepad. But right at the table properties, I want to add more properties to the table. I will type cell, CELL, cell spacing, SPACING, cell spacing equal to double quote 0. So I would like us to save and refresh to see the effect of the cell spacing. I click file, I click save, I return to my browser, I refresh. So you can see that there are no more spaces in the borders. Wow, it's taking a better shape. And so I can see that the web design, networking, all the data in our tables are close to the left borders. So I can do a cell padding to shift them a little to the right. So I quickly go to my browser and add another property to the table, which I call cell padding, CELPADDING, cell padding equal to double quote. In between the double quote, let's put 5, cell padding equal to 5, and I save my work, file, save. Then I go to the browser. I want you to look before I refresh. There are no spaces between the left border and web and W. So I click refresh. Once I click refresh, you will see a little padding. There's a little padding. I can increase it to 50. If I increase it to 50, Control S, file and save. Then I go and refresh. You can see that there are padding, padding in the left, padding in the top, padding in all around. So, but I wouldn't want it to be that big. So I will go and return it back to 5, file and save, and then I refresh. You can see a padding of 5, padding of 5. So I will align all my text, all my data at the middle. So to align all my data at the middle, I open my notepad. Now right inside the table data, the opening tag of TD, you can see where I highlighted. At the opening tag of TD, you add properties to it. So I enter into the opening tag. I will type align, ALIGN, equal to double quote CENTER. So I will click file and save, and then I refresh my browser. You will notice that only web design has been aligned to the center, while networking, data analytics, and the rest of the data are aligned to the left. So aligning by default is at the left. So I will quickly open my notepad, and then I can copy and paste to save a whole lot of time for us. Control C, I enter into 200,000 naira opening tag. I paste, Control V, I paste, Control V, I paste. I want you to look at where I'm pasting. This is the less than sign. This is T, D, right after D, before the greater than sign. I paste. You make sure you leave a space before align, and then equal to, and then center. So I also paste, I also paste, I also paste align equal to center. I also paste align equal to center. I also paste align equal to center. I finally paste align equal to center. So now I have table data opening tag. Inside it, we have the align equal to center. So web design should be aligned at the center, and the rest. So I will quickly click file and save, head to my browser and refresh. Boom. So all the table data are now aligned at the center. But you will notice that my table itself is still aligned to the left. So I would love my table to be aligned at the center, aligned to the center as well. So I quickly open my notepad, head to the table opening tag, add more properties to the table opening tag, and then I equally do Control V to align my table, my entire table, to the center, and I quickly save my work file, save, I head back to the browser and I refresh. And the moment I refresh, you will notice that all the entire table has been aligned to the center. So now that my table is properly aligned at the center as desired, you know, all these things are choices. You can decide to align your table to the right, to the left, wherever you like. But I desire to align my table to the left. So now that I have done that, I intend to also add headings to my table. And for us to add a table heading, we will have to use the th tag. And this is how the th tag looks like. As you look on the screen, you can see the opening th tag, and you can see the closed th tag. And so I quickly return to my notepad and write inside. Remember, we are preserving these two table rows for a particular experiment for the final. So I can simply come and open the third table row, open the tr, close it. It's my web page. I can tweak it any way I like. So I now have an empty table row number 1, an empty table row number 2, and empty table row number 3. So now inside the third table row, I start coding my th, my table heading. I open the tag, and then I close the tag th table heading. So I'm supposed to have 3 table headings, th, and then I close. Then I do the same thing the third time, th, and then I close. So right inside the first table heading, I can type ICT course, old price, new price. ICT course, old price, new price. So the ICT course will be for this first table data. The old price will align with the second, the second, the second, while new price will align with the third, the third, and etc. So I'll quickly click File, Save, head back to my browser and refresh. Here comes our table headings, our ICT course, old price, and new price. Now this is just a simple table. This is just a simple table, and now we can tweak this table using row span and the col span attribute. We can tweak this table using the row span and the col span attribute. The row span, in the row span, the header, for example, or any of the rows, a particular data will occupy 2 rows. In col span, a particular data will also occupy 2 columns. For example, I can have price on top of old price and new price on top of it, that will span through these 2 columns. I can also have on top of this place, I can also have ICT course occupying 2 rows. That's called row span. I can have price occupying these two that will be on top, called price, spanning through these 2 columns. And so for us to achieve that, we quickly go back to our notepad. Now that we have gone to our notepad, I can decide to delete this row that we just added. I can decide to delete it. Now that I have deleted it, now inside, okay, I save and I refresh, so I am sure that I deleted it. So once I've gone back to the way it used to be, so I come into this. Okay, that's my browser, and so I return to my notepad. Right inside the opening tag of the first empty table row, I insert my table heading th, as we have learned before. So th, the closing tag, I close th, and then I do the same thing again. I open the th tag, the table heading tag, and then I close the table heading tag. The first heading, we have 2 headings right at the top. That the first heading should be price, okay, ICT course. Now the second heading should be price, PRICE. Okay, I click File, I click Save, head back to my browser, and I refresh. So you would notice that ICT course is here, price is here. But what I intend to do is to align price to be at the middle of these 2. I want price to align at the middle of these 2. I want price to not just align, to span through these 2 columns. to span through these two columns, and I want to have another row on top of ICT course or below it, and then ICT course will span through these two rows. And so I quickly return to my notepad, and price, I head to price. I can equally add price in Naira, Naira in bracket. So I enter into the TH opening tag to add a property to it, and this property is called colspan, Colspan. I want you to see it on the browser. Okay, equal to double quote colspan equal to colspan equal to 2, colspan equal to 2. We quickly save, file save, head back to the browser and refresh. Right now you will notice that price now spans through. This is called colon span, colspan. Price now spans through this and this. Now the price, this represents the old price, while this represents the new price. So we'll equally do the same thing, row span for these two. But before we can do that, we have to create an additional row. We have to create an additional row, and of course we have an empty row here. We have an empty row. I will highlight it. We have an empty row consisting of an opening tag tr and a closing tag tr, and in between the row you can see there is nothing inside, it is empty. So we can quickly type in our table header th, and then we close the table header th backslash. So we also open a table heading tag, and then we quickly close the table heading tag. Now right in between these table heading tags, we will have the old price, OLDPRICE, and then we equally have the new price. Now I will click file and I will click save, but before then I will have to enter into the opening th tag of ICT course, and then add a property to it that is called row span, because I would want ICT course to occupy two rows. So if you look at the screen, you will see how the row span property is typed, and then I will type ROWSPAN, row span equal to double quote. Because it will be spanning two rows, I will type 2, row span equals to 2. So ICT course, okay, I will click on file and save, head back to my browser and refresh. Boom, it's already happened. So you can see price, now price in Naira, the old price and the new price. Now you can see that price is spanning through these two columns, while ICT course is spanning through these two rows. ICT course is spanning through two rows. Price is spanning through two columns. And so we can add background color to our entire table. We can add background color to our entire table using the property BG color. You can use the property BG color. So I open my notepad, and then I add another property to the opening tag of the table, and then BG color equal to, I can add a color like gray, gray. I quickly save my work file I save, I return to my web browser, I refresh. And now you can see that my table now has a gray background. And so there are so many things you can do on your HTML table, you can do on your web page table. You can add font colors, you can add cells padding, you can add background colors, you can make them to be bold, you can merge tables, you can merge cells, just like we have done using the col span and the row span. So in this video, we have learned a whole lot about HTML tables. We started from the table tag to create a table, and then from the table tag, we have also learned about the table rows, and we learn about the table row tag, TR tag. And then we also learned about the table data tag, that's the TD, the table data, which refers to each cell of the table. And then we also talked about the caption tag, which represents the caption, our 2025 prizes for ICT courses. And then we also talked about or learned about the table headings, that's the TH tag, on how to add headings to our table. And then we talked about merging our cells using the col span attribute and the row span attribute. And then we finally added a background color to our table. So I appreciate your time in learning about HTML table. And we have so many other topics to talk about in the HTML series. So I will advise you or implore you to subscribe to this channel so you can quickly have access to all the videos in our HTML series. Thank you very much. I still remain Reverend Dr. Namches. God bless you. Goodbye.